The communist forces, some of them riding in Russian-made tanks, some in captured American jeeps, rolled into Saigon about 3.5 hours after the end of the dramatic American evacuation of U.S. nationals and many South Vietnamese.
April 1975. South Vietnam is collapsing. At this pivotal point in history, Midway's commanding officer, Captain Larry Chambers, embarks upon the most storied humanitarian mission in Navy history, Operation Frequent Wind, the evacuation of Saigon.
We were heading for Vietnam and all shafts were turning at max speed. We got off the southern tip of Vietnam, picked up these big HH-53s.
There was little time for preparation and no margin for error.
It was just controlled chaos. You've got old folk, young folks, you've got little kids, babe in arms.
I was 8 years old when I left my country, Vietnam. It was just chaos everywhere. We were told that they were going to shut down the airport because of the constant bombings, and only people with proper documentation were allowed to leave. My aunt was the only one that had the paperwork. She actually went up to one of the US soldiers at the gate and pleaded with him, and he asked, well, how many are there in total? And when my aunt replied 16, he said, well, I'm so sorry, but that's probably going to be impossible. And so he finally gave in. He said, okay, this is what you'll do. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. in the morning, get in line where you have to show the paperwork, but tell your sister's family to keep walking and don't stop. The next morning, he was there, and with his hand motioning for us to pass on through, I just remembered when we finally landed on the Midway, and I thought, okay, we're safe.
Courtney and her family found themselves among the fortunate ones. However, for Captain Chambers and his crew aboard the Midway, their mission was far from complete.
The crew was handling the people. We got them all down on the hangar deck. 250 people came on, each one at a time. Not strapped down, cargo net, desperate times, and it was working.
Throughout the night and into the next day, Midway recovered aircraft and saved lives. Suddenly, a small Cessna buzzed the bridge.
And he dropped a note on the deck. He wrapped the note around his pistol, and he dropped his pistol on deck, and it said what the hell I thought it was going to say. He said, can you move those helicopters? I can fly 1 hour more, and please rescue me. He said he had Major Lee, wife, and 5 child, so now we knew there were 7 souls on board. The Admiral was still yelling at me to tell him to ditch. No way is this guy going to ditch. I mean, it's wheels. It's going to flip over, and the family's going to drown. I called the air boss and said, we're going to make a ready deck.
Low on fuel, Major Bung Lee and family had found the Midway, but there was no room to land, yet.
I got on the general announcing system, and next thing I know, somewhere around 2,000 people showed up on the flight deck to help the air boss make a ready deck. I turned around and didn't look, because I didn't want to see how much went over the side, because from that point on, I knew that I'm going to have to face a board, and I could honestly say with the lie detector test, I don't know how many we pushed over the side. Well, we got the deck clear, and then 8 more Hueys landed in the middle of the landing area. The air boss called and said, what the hell are we going to do now? And I said, look, it's my court-martial. I'm already in deep. 8 more Hueys over the side. It's not going to make a damn bit of difference.
Above Midway, Major Lee is circling, engine sputtering in a stiff and challenging wind.
After we pushed the last few over the side, we gave him a green light to come on around and land. He was going to have to fight his way through the turbulence. Turns out he had somewhere around 8,000 hours in the airplane. The guy was very professional. They brought him up to the bridge, and I took my wings off, and I made him an honorary naval aviator right on the spot.
Major Lee and his family were 7 of more than 50,000 people rescued in the final days of the Vietnam War, many of them by the Midway.
If I was not on the Midway, I would not be standing here today to have the opportunity to be a mother, to be a wife, to be a volunteer in my community. I'm giving back to community because that's what we should do. We should spread kindness, spread love, because we need that.